Need some help putting together your online portfolio and personalizing your About Me page? This tutorial should help you understand how to use some of the different functions of a Google site. Let's get started. First, you'll access your portfolio through your district email account. There you'll find an email from me with a link to your portfolio. You'll click on the link, and if you don't immediately see this menu option at the top with the little pencil to edit, you'll need to scroll all the way to the bottom of your page where you will find a button down at the bottom that says Sign In. Click on it once, and you should see this toolbar menu across the top. Now, these little buttons right here are how you navigate some of the different ways of editing this page. The pencil allows you to do a page edit. You'll notice that this site has multiple pages. You have your home page, you have other pages along the top in the navigation bar. The button here allows you to add a page or create a page. And the one that looks like a gear shift is going to give you a whole series of options to help you manage the site as a whole. So if you wanted to change the font or the colors or the template that the entire site is based on, this would be how to do it. First, we're going to walk through some of the front page changes that you'll need to make in order to add your About Me piece of writing. First things first, you'll want to change where it says your name so that it reads your name. Now you can space it out, you can change it however you want, you can use a nickname, but please do not put your last name on your online portfolio. We want to make sure that we're protecting our identities. So simply use your first name. Next, you want to modify the existing information that's there. This is just a placeholder. So where it says tagline, this might be where you put a headline if you have one for your writing piece. It could be something simple like my writing is like a rough draft, or ideally something a bit more creative. Something like maybe I tinker, I tour, I toy, I revise, I am a rough draft. Something that kind of catches our eye. So you want to delete mine and make it yours. This is also the image you see on the page, a placeholder for where your image will go. You don't want that there. You want your image there. So by clicking on the image, you'll get this menu bar and you'll click X to remove the image. This right here is the directions for the assignment and an example of one of those writing pieces. You will need to make this your own. So again, we can delete this. So you start by adding your own tagline. You'll notice it changes the color. I can change the color and the size of this font by using the menu along the top here. So if I didn't want it light blue and I wanted it green, I could change it to green. And you'll notice I did a highlight, which makes the whole background change color. Simply hitting undo here changes that. So you undo those edits. I can change, instead of highlight, I can change it, I don't know, like an orange color. And then I could type or copy and paste my About Me 200-word metaphor for who I am as a writer in the space below. Now you have a couple of different options when it comes to font here. So when you highlight the font, you of course can change the size of the font. You can change whether it's bold or not. You can change the color of the font. You can change if it's organized as a bulleted list or if you want it centered. If you want it across the page in a different way, you can change the font itself. There are a couple of options here. And in just a little bit on this tutorial, I'll show you how to get even more options for your font layout. Ultimately, then you're going to want to add your image. To add your image, you're going to need to either have saved the image to your computer or simply copy and pasted the web address where your image is located. To insert your image, you're going to want to have your cursor wherever you'd like your image located. You're going to click Insert and then Image. If you are using an image that you've downloaded to your computer, you can hit Upload Image and it would allow you to select the image you've downloaded from your computer files. Most of you, however, are probably copying and pasting a web address or URL. You'll click Web Address here and then you'll paste the image file in this section to whatever that image address is. Now you'll know it's an image address because it ends with either JPG or it ends with PNG. Those are two types of image files. Okay. If it ends with HTML or net or org, it's not going to work. And you'll notice I just put in an org address and notice it doesn't allow me to do it here. So you want to make sure that you have an actual image file. Now remember, your images need to be distinguished as Creative Commons images. The way that you do that, and you'll see I'm doing it as we speak here, as I could do a general Google image search. I'm just going to do cat. And I can use either Flickr Creative Commons or I can use a Google search. If I use a Google search, I need to make sure that I click on Search Tools and make sure that I change the usage right to Labeled for Reuse. That means that these are then Creative Commons images that I'm allowed to use. If they're Creative Commons images, I can simply click on View Image. And right here, there's my web address for the image. I simply copy that image. I note where it comes from. In this case, it's Wikimedia. I can go back here. I go Insert, Image, Web Address. I paste my image there. There's my cat. And then OK. And it'll bring up my cat here. It might take a little while to do so since it was a larger image as it comes in. You'll notice that you have a menu bar that comes up with your image, and this is how you change how it's organized. Now, if you've selected a really large image, it's going to make it huge. You might want to change it to 100%, and what that does is it makes the image fit this white box that you have here. You can also make it smaller. I can make it medium size, so that would change it like this. And then maybe I want my text to float alongside the cat. So I would change it from wrap off to wrap on. And now my information or my metaphor floats alongside it right there. The last important piece you'll need to make sure that you add is a citation. Now, like I said, I just added my image. It came from Wikimedia. Now, it's not showing up here because the font color is very light, but once I highlight it, you can see here. So as part of the format of this, I gave you background image by and a link. All you have to do to make sure that you give credit is you can simply hit change. The URL is going to be the same as where you found the picture, and then you need to add in where it came from. So this image came from Wikimedia. So I simply change it here. I want to make sure this open this link in new window is clicked, and I hit OK. Now for some of you, you're going to notice that that's incredibly faint. It makes it incredibly hard to see. Now, if you just highlight this, because it's a hyperlink, it's not really going to change. Even if I change the font color, it's not going to do much to it ultimately after it's been clicked on. You can do a temporary change, but what you want to do is change the font to the link color. I'm going to show you how to do that momentarily. If you've accidentally deleted this and you need to add in a hyperlink, you just highlight the word that you want to hyperlink. You click the little button that looks like a link. Click on web address, and then you paste the web address where that image is found, opens in new link, and OK, and you'll see that it's made it right there. It's made it a hyperlink as well. So someone coming to your site could click on that and find that image. Now this is all well and good, but this is not a very interesting looking page. It's very blue. I'll probably want to make sure that I do things like change my name down here. If you want to add your email address, you can, though you do not have to. Since this is out on the web, you might want to delete that so as not to get a bunch of spam emails. But I'm not a fan of this blue. So let's do something to change this blue. You want to make sure that you hit save. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to hit cancel so as not to mess with someone else's About Me and portfolio page. You want to make sure that you hit save, however. So it reverts it back to the original. To save the overall or to change the overall look of the page, you hit the little gear shift here, and you're going to select Manage Site. And this is going to give you all the different options that you can do with a Google Sites web page. Here's your different menus. If you wanted to change the site's name, you could add a little description. But the main thing you're probably going to want at this point is the little option down in the lower corner that says Themes, Colors, and Fonts. And this is how to change everything with your site. So you'll see when it first comes up that you can change the entire look of your page in a number of clicks here. So we've got entire page. You could change the background. I could add an image in here. So again, if I had an image that I had saved to my computer, like I want to save it to this benchmark banner image, I can save it so that shows up as the entire background here. If I wanted to change this right here, this is called the wrapper up top. So I might change that simply by clicking here. You can also change all the content areas, the link colors. Here's the text. I could change the link color here, or I could change the template as a whole. And I could change the whole color scheme of the template simply by changing that template look. So now all of a sudden I've personalized my space.